Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to Cloud Test Lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
Sindhu, I'll go to the diagram once again. Let's just finish the further part and we'll come back at the end of the class again. Okay, so now this is what happens in the table. Now first we basically capture the data, obtain a snapshot of the student subset of the source data from the loading bit. So what we do is basically we extract all the transactions which were recently made and we capture those transactions, and there are two types of extract possible. One is a static extract. There are two types of extract possible. One is static extract and another is an incremental extract. When we talk about static extract, what we do is we capture snapshot of a data at a point in time. So what we do is basically we'll copy the entire database and we'll extract all the data from that database. That is something called as static extract. There is something called as incremental extract. So what we do is this. Okay, last time when you guys try to focus on this point, this incremental extraction is basically the crux of data. This is the interview question. What is incremental extract? Bindu, is my speed proper now? Yeah, you guys will be getting the PPT, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so what is incremental extract? What we do is basically, I told about something that we run the ETL flows, or we load the databases once in a day or once in 3 hours or once every hour, depends on the requirement. That's why there's a lag. So what we do in this is basically, if suppose the database is running every 1 hour, it doesn't make sense to actually pull entire source data like we do in the static extract. Rather, what we do is basically from the last static extract till the current time. So suppose you did your you ran your last ETL flow at suppose 1 p.m. and right now you're running another ETL flow at 3 p.m. So all the data which has changed between 1 p.m. or 3 p.m., all the data which has got added between 3 p.m. and 1 p.m., you only pull that data. So we are only pulling the incremental, the section which has changed, the section which has newly been added. No, there is no format as such. When to do it is basically subjective. It depends on the business requirement. There are a lot of factors which come into picture while doing that, which basically I'll be covering in the ETL Informatica batch. So if you want, you can just join in for a couple of lectures. So this is the capture layer. Next, your scrub layer. Now what do we do? It cleans. Just ignore this statement. This statement was basically for my Informatica batch students. Scrub cleans and uses participant area of the data set. So I'll just give you a brief overview of what it does. Now let's take an example of suppose phone number. Now if your phone number is empty, it will basically fill it with some random value like 9999999. or some other value. That is one aspect. Other is spelling correction. So basically, while writing something, if you have entered wrong spelling, there'll be AI, artificial intelligence techniques used to actually correct those spellings in context to the data. So all this is something that I cover in some other batches, but I just wanted you guys to get a crux of it. So basically, whatever processing that you can do, to clean the data, to process the data, so that the data is all the errored value from the database is removed. Then we actually that is where scrubbing comes into picture. One is fixing error, other is decoding. I give an example of decoding. For example, 1 stands for order complete, 2 stands for order in process, 3 stands for order cancelled. So in your source query, in the source database is written in the format of 1, 2, and 3. To transform this data to order in process, order processed, or order cancelled, we need to decode the values. So whenever you see 1, replace the 1 by this. Replace the 2 by this. That is something that we do in the scrubbing here. These are some transformations that we do. After that, we come to transformation here. So basically, a transformation layer is something. Manoj, I am trying to support this with technical example. I have already explained all this with examples. I'll just go again. No, scrub is done using an ETL tool, Informatica. That's one of the example of the ETL tool. Let's take as Manoj suggested, let's take an example of how things happen. So we'll take an example of transformation. Now what does transform do? Is basically we took an example of having 3 different source databases. For example, Lufthansa has some database called MySQL, Delta has Oracle, and India has some other databases, and your target database is Oracle. So in transformation, you will convert the data format of MySQL to Oracle, of Lufthansa, of DB2 to Oracle. So what you do is you convert German to English, because your data warehouse understands only English. So that's what you do in transformation. Other than that, there are record level transformations that we do, which is selection, joining, and aggregation. Now, what do we do in selection is, for example, out of your source data, you are only supposed to select all the data which let's suppose an example that the CEO requires all the data for all the orders which are currently pending. So you will select all those data which are actually pending. So all those data who has a value. So you will filter out all the data which are like completed. So that is something that you can do. Selection of the data, that is something that you can do here. Joining, combining 2 databases, you can join. We took an example of that. Aggregation is summarization. Total sales of Apple iPhone in, say, North America. So you will aggregate over North America. That is like record level transformation. Other is called a field level transformation. Let's take an example of field level transformation. Name of a person. Now, there's some websites which just have one single name column. So where you'll enter your name, maybe like Ankit Solanki is my name. I enter Ankit Solanki over there. But in the ETL flow, you can actually convert this into surname and first name. So what you do is basically the first name return, let me try to explain this by an Excel sheet. Can you guys see an Excel sheet now?
No.
This is always a problem now.
Ankit, is there a different session for ETL Informatica?
Yeah, that's the Informatica batch which you're planning to start soon. This is more ETL QA side, and that batch is more on the technical aspect of data warehousing.
Okay. If we want to do that, we need to contact H2K, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys see the PPT again, I think?
No. Yeah, PPT is visible.
can you see the PPT moving or it's stationary?
It's stable.
Oh, okay, so that means it's connected in port. I'm from Singapore, Manvi.
So you are in Singapore?
Yeah.
H2K people are amazing. They have a huge team.
No, I'm not Gujarati by any means. I was in the US also for quite some time, but then I moved to Singapore for opportunities. Okay, yeah. So now I will be able to see the Excel screen. Can you? Excel screen visible, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the example that I was taking. My name is Ankit Solanki. So this is now stored in a single column. Okay. Now what you can do in ETL is basically separate it based on the space attribute. So now you have two columns. So suppose this is your source table. Please go on mute, guys. Please go on mute. Yeah. Suppose this is your source table where you have stored Ankit Solanki. Let me just put in your name. Yeah, suppose this is your source table where you have stored Ankit Solanki and your target table, target column 1, target column 2. So yeah, now let's get back to this. Yeah. So basically, this is Lufthansa storing my data like this, and this is they want to store my name and surname separately. So when Lufthansa stores it like this, you use the ETL tool to basically divide this column into two separate columns. Guys, did you understand this? This is something which is possible using an ETL tool. This is called as multi-field transformation. So this is an example of one field to many. There is a similar example of many to one. Is this clear, folks? Guys, can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear. Can you please repeat?
Okay. Yeah, I can repeat. Lufthansa Airlines has a database named Oracle or has a database named MySQL. In their database, they have stored my name as Ankit Solanki in one single column. You can see this column L. This is Lufthansa's database. They have stored my name as Ankit Solanki in one single column. On the other hand, Make My Trip ka data warehouse wants my name to be separated by my surname and name. So using an ETL tool, you can separate my name and surname on the basis of the space gap in between. This is called as one field to many field transformation. Is this clear?
Yes.
Hello. Great. Can you guys see the slides again now? This is killing me. Please don't call me sir. Request. Now can you see my slides?
No, blank screen. Yes.
Great. So let's go ahead. And last is we just load the data into the database. Ignore the word refresh and the bulk mode update mode. We'll cover that tomorrow or when I talk about the detailed stuff. So yeah, we talk about data mart. Functional segment means sales, retail, finance. Why do we do it? For security reasons. You don't want the finance people to see your HR data. You don't want the sales people to see your HR data. You don't want the HR people to see the finance data. Just imagine you are in a company where you can actually view the data of HR department. So you actually know what is the salary of the CEO. So that's why you don't want, HR people, the data of HR people to be viewed by the finance data. That's why we use distinct segments, which is the data mart rather than data warehouse at times when we want security. When we want locality, like for example, what's an example of locality? The example will be something like this, okay? I want to create a data mart storing all my reports for America. So I'll keep the data mart in my American server. On the other hand, I want to create a report for Cube and data marts are the same thing. So basically, I want to create a report which is again, different cubes. Different cubes is a perfect word. So basically, I want to create a data mart again which stores data of only Singapore. So in Singapore there are a lot of restrictions. One restriction is this: the data from Singapore generated by the Singapore citizens cannot go out of Singapore. This is a restriction that has been laid from the government. So you need to keep the data of Singapore within Singapore itself. That is where data locality comes into picture. So basically, you have data mart. So you have Asia data mart. You have US data mart. You have Europe data mart. So you have various data marts. Performance, rather than having all domains run together on one single, rather than dropping out from rather than all people from finance, HR, and sales moving from one single data warehouse, what we do is we separate them. So we have a performance advantage wherein a data cube or a data mart is accessed by only HR people. So there's a lot less load on the data mart for that moment. And all the modeling and techniques are similar to data warehousing. We'll talk about the modeling techniques tomorrow, which are like fact and dimension modeling, which is like a hot favorite interview question. So we'll talk about that tomorrow in detail. So we'll take the modeling section tomorrow.
Hi, Ankit. Are you going to send the recording of today?
Yeah, I'll be sending the recording.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so all this is, I'll be sending the PPT also, and all this is very much clear. I took efforts to I took efforts to actually make this very clear over here, and this should make things easy for you guys. So you want me to go through all this, or you'll take this as an assignment? Okay, so take this as an assignment, and then if there are any questions, just send me an email. Let's come to this point. Okay, let's there are two approaches of loading a data warehouse or a data mart. No, class is not yet completed. Yes, I have like 10 minutes left. So let's go through it. Now there's something called as what you do. We'll talk about operational data tomorrow again. Tomorrow start of the lecture. I think there are a lot of concepts which would be raw right now. So what I recommend is you guys study tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon when we take a class again, I'll be going through a lot of concepts all over again. In tomorrow the class will be at the same time 7. So let's talk about top-down approach. What we do in the top-down approach is, guys, I need to mute everyone. Yeah, guys, is this very clear that what we do in a data warehouse? Basically, is this very clear that data mart is basically a subset of a data warehouse? So basically, many data marts together actually form a bigger data warehouse. Is this clear? Okay. So what do we do in a top-down testing is we load the data warehouse, and then after loading the data warehouse, we create smaller data marts. That is top-down. And there is another called is bottom-up. What we do is basically we load separate data marts, and from this data mart we create one central data warehouse. Is this clear, everyone? Folks, top-down and bottom-up, clear? Yeah, I'll repeat. In top-down approach, we have a data warehouse, and then we, like this data warehouse would have finance data, would have sales data, would have, this data mart will have finance data, sales data, and it would also have something like sales, finance, and HR data. Okay, you can, using this big data warehouse, you can actually create sales data, finance data, and HR data mart separately. Okay, you can do the reverse way also, where you have sales data, finance data, and HR data. You can integrate that data again to create a central data warehouse. Is this clear now?
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2KInfosys.com. On our website H2KInfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.